1 second, my video is going slow. We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, the personality of Godhead we heard yesterday. The personality of Godhead, being thus very much satisfied with the penance of Lord Brahma, was pleased to manifest his personal abode, Vaikuntha, the supreme planet above all others. This transcendental abode of the Lord is adored by all self-realized persons, freed from all kinds of miseries and fear of illusory existence. Here Sai Maharaj is telling, the troubles of penance accepted by Lord Brahma were certainly in the line of devotional service, bhakti. Otherwise there was no chance that Vaikuntha or Svalokam, the Lord's personal abodes, would become visible to Brahmaji. Only by devotion one can get darshan of Krishna and his abode. So, the personal abodes of the Lord, known as Vaikunthas, are neither mythical nor material as conceived by the impersonalists. But the realization of the transcendental abodes of the Lord is possible only through devotional service, and thus the devotees enter into such abodes. There is undoubtedly trouble in executing penance, but the trouble accepted in executing Bhakti Yoga is transcendental happiness from the very beginning, whereas the trouble of penance in other processes of self-realization, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, etc., without any Vaikuntha realization ends in trouble only and nothing more. There is no profit in biting husks without grains. Similarly, there is no profit in executing troublesome penances other than Bhakti Yoga for self-realization. We heard yesterday which kind of penance we have to do, being given to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Upadeshamrita. So that we have to follow, and then Krishna will be pleased, then we can get his darshan. Pravartate yatra rajas tamas tayoh satam cha mishram na cha kala vikrama na yatra mayakim utapare harer anuvrata yatra sura surarchitaha. In that personal abode of the Lord, the material modes of ignorance and passion do not prevail, nor is there any of their influence in goodness. There is no predominance of the influence of time, so what to speak of the illusory external energy? It cannot enter that region. Without discrimination, both the demigods and the demons worship the Lord as devotees. That is transcendental abode. One second. The whole Vaikuntha existence proclaims that everyone there is a follower of the Lord. The Lord is the chief leader there without any competition for leadership, and the people in general are all followers of the Lord. It is confirmed in the Vedas, therefore, that the Lord is the chief leader and all other living entities are subordinate to him, for only the Lord satisfies all the needs of all other living entities. This is in Upanishad. Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam Eko Bahunam Jobidadhati Kamam. He is one chief eternal among many eternals, jivas, and one chief conscious among many conscious jivas. But Eko Bahunam Jobidadhati Kama, this one who is one, he fulfills all the needs of those who are many jivas. Such is the eternal relationship. That is Golok Vrindavan or any Vaikuntha planet. Krishna is only enjoyer there. No one else, there is no competitor. Krishna is only enjoyer and all are lovingly serving him. That is above this material world. In this material world, conditioned souls, we have false egos, so we think we can separately enjoy. And for that, we are always fighting with others, which is most unnatural. So, by the grace of realized souls, we can get that devotion to Krishna. They will give first the seed, and then we have to do our own part. We have to do penance, then we have to fully awaken that devotion to Krishna. Then there will be no more miseries or fear or anything. That is natural life. Very blissful. It is nothing like this worldly existence. This worldly existence is fully bad, only suffering, and it is dreamlike and no real happiness. Shyama Vadata Shata Patra Lochana Pishanga Vastra Surucha Supeshasa Sarve Chatur Bhakava Unmishanmani Praveka Nishka Bharana Suvarcha Saha. The inhabitants of the Vaikuntha planets are described as having a glowing sky bluish complexion. Their eyes resemble lotus flowers. Their dress is of yellowish color, and their bodily features very attractive. They are just the age of growing youths. They all have 4 hands. They are all nicely decorated with pearl necklaces, with ornamental medallions, and they all appear to be effulgent. That is in Vaikuntha 4 hand, but in Golok Vrindavan 2 hand. That is more charming. Pravala Vaidurya Mrinala Varchasa Parispurat Kundala Mauli Malinaha. Some of them are effulgent like coral and diamonds in complexion and have garlands on their heads, blooming like lotus flowers, and some wear earrings. You will not find such description in Upanishad or Vedanta Sutra. There only Brahma is mentioned, like Brahman, supreme, but not much details about form of Atma and form of Paramatma and the Lila. It is included there, but only those who got that revelation they can see, but it's not explicit. That is why Bhagavatam is the best scripture. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told, if all the scriptures in the world are lost, there will be no loss if Bhagavatam remains. Jivas can get everything from Bhagavatam, and even if Bhagavatam is lost, if Chaitanya Charitamrita is there, then Jivas will not be deprived of anything. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, even more is manifested than in Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam, Radharani is indirectly mentioned. Indirectly, because we are not eligible. But in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is directly mentioned and explained in details, and in other books of Goswamis. So we are very fortunate now that in this Kali Yuga we are born when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. He's all merciful. He is giving us this. But of course, there is to attain, there is a gradual process that is also given by Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, why he would order Rup and Sanatan to write? Why he would order Prabhupada and Bhaktivinoda Thakur? So that we have to follow. There is some penance, but the result will be nectarian. And before Sai Maharaj told, from the very beginning there is transcendental happiness in bhakti penance, yes, but according to degree of your sincere service. It is not that on first day you will get that full and at every step Purnamrita, Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. We have to reach that platform. But it is true that how much you can sincerely do some service to Krishna, that much also you will feel transcendental happiness. And because of that, you will be able to give up lower tastes of these material enjoyments. Brajishnubir yah parito virajate lasat vimana valibir mahatmanam vidyotamanah pramadota madhyubhi savidyut abravalibir yatha nabha. The Vaikuntha planets are all surrounded by various airplanes, all glowing and brilliantly situated. These airplanes belong to the great Mahatmas or devotees of the Lord. Our Gurudev told that there is no accident in these airplanes. They will not fall down like these material ones. The ladies are as beautiful as lightning because of their celestial complexions, and all these combined together appear just like the sky, decorated with both clouds and lightning. Shrir Yatra Rupini Urugaya Padayo Karoti Manam Bahuda Vibhutibhi Prenkham Shritaya Kushuma Karanugair Vigiyamana Priya Karma Gayati. The goddess of fortune, in her transcendental form, is engaged in the loving service of the Lord's lotus feet, and being moved by the black bees, followers of spring, she is not only engaged in variegated pleasure service to the Lord, along with her constant companions, but is also engaged in singing the glories of the Lord's activities. Tomorrow we will observe disappearance day of Raya Ramananda. when Mahaprabhu was hearing from him, then whatever Raya Ramananda was speaking, culminating in Radha Krishna, then when Mahaprabhu went to further south and the little west India, then he got Brahma Sanhita. And when he copied or got original, I think he copied. Then he came back and he very happily presented to Raya Ramananda, I found this book, all your conclusions are stated here. There we will find that in Vrindavan there are thousands of Lakshmis, means gopis. They are also singing the glories. So that is supreme about Golok Vrindavan. That also here Brahma got darshan of Vaikuntha Loka. But there, in that occasion, he got revelation of Golok. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought that book. And we are hearing that is 5th chapter of Brahma, only 5th chapter. Jiva Goswami told there are 100 chapters of Brahma Sanhita. And that is only 5th chapter, which we now have by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And some are saying that it is actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who wrote that book. And they are like thinking then it is like not Shastra original or something. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur told, if it is written by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is very good. That is His Supreme Lord Himself, Krishna Himself, giving us Shastra. All Shastra is given by Supreme Lord. So there is nothing wrong if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote that Brahma Sanhita, because all Shastra is coming from Krishna. So all the gopis, they are singing the glories of Krishna. Lakshmi also, with companions. Dadarsha Tatrakila Satvatam Patim Shriyah Patim Yagya Patim Jagat Patim Sunanda Nanda Prabha Larhanadibi Sva Parshadagre Parisevitam Vibhum. Lord Brahma saw in the Vaikuntha planets the personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of the entire devotee community, the Lord of the goddess of fortune, the Lord of all sacrifices, and the Lord of the universe, and who is served by the foremost servitors like Nanda, Sunanda, Prabhala, and Arhana, his immediate associates. This Nanda is different than Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavan. Britya prasada bhimukham drik asavam prasanna hasaruna lochananam kiritinam kundalinam chaturbhujam pitam shukam vakshasi lakshitam shriya. The personality of Godhead, seen leaning favorably towards his loving servitors, his very sight intoxicating and attractive, appeared to be very much satisfied. He had a smiling face decorated with an enchanting reddish hue. He was dressed in yellow robes and wore earrings and a helmet on his head. He had 4 hands, and his chest was marked with the lines of the goddess of fortune. Here, Srila Sai Maharaj is quoting from Padma Puran. In the Padma Puran, Uttarakhanda, there is a full description of the Yoga Pit, or the particular place where the Lord is in audience to his eternal devotees. In that Jogapit, the personification of religion, knowledge, opulence, and renunciation are all seated at the lotus feet of the Lord. The four Vedas, namely Rig, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva, are present there personally to advise the Lord, like advisors. The 16 energies headed by Chanda are all present there. Chanda and Kumuda are the first two doorkeepers. At the middle door are the doorkeepers named Bhadra and Subhadra, and at the last door are Jai and Vijay. There are other doorkeepers also named Kumuda, Kumudaksha, Pundarika, Bhamana, Shankukarna, Sarvanetra, Sumukha, etc. The Lord's palace is well decorated and protected by the above mentioned doorkeepers. So we have to go back home, back to Godhead. In this material world, only miseries are there. And why we are getting these miseries? It is due to our own fault. We wanted to enjoy. We did not want to serve Krishna as our natural function, but we wanted to enjoy. So now we are reaping the fruits of our own actions. All the time miseries. But they can be mitigated, Sai Maharaj told, they can be mitigated by the linking process of Bhakti Yoga to Supreme Lord. If under the guidance of realized soul, we accept service of Krishna, then gradually we can come out from all these miseries. Otherwise, we will waste this opportunity. And again, we have to experience all those things. Adyarhani asanam astitam param vritam chatu shorasha pancha shaktibi yuktam bhagai sver itaratra chadruvai sa evam dhaman ramamanam ishwaram. The Lord was seated on his throne and was surrounded by different energies like the 4, the 16, the 5, and the 6 natural opulences, along with other insignificant energies of the temporary character. But he was the factual Supreme Lord, enjoying his own abode. This is what Brahma is directly seeing. Darshan. If you get one glimpse of this, our Gurudev told, only one glimpse, then attraction to this whole world will be destroyed in a moment. No, you cannot be attracted. And if someone will serve Krishna, then he will get that transcendental bliss, and he can also, by the grace of Krishna, can tolerate all the reactions of his fruits. Means reactions in the form of means reactions to previous actions, fruits of those actions. Reaction and fruit is same thing. I was a little confused. So reactions to our previous action means that fruit, karma, of karma, that by the grace of Krishna we can somehow tolerate when we are in connection with Krishna. Otherwise it is very difficult. And those who have that connection, they are serving Krishna, they also do not pray to Krishna to remove or to change that karmic thing. they are ready to tolerate what they did, but the only desire is, let me satisfy you. And when they have such attitude, such mood, then by Krishna's grace, through that connection, they are also able to tolerate everything, like a tree. Without wanting to change, they are able to tolerate. Tat darshanachlada pariplutantaro hrishyatanuh prema barashru lochana nanama padambujam asya vishwasrik yat paramaham siena pathadi gamyate. Lord Brahma, thus seeing the personality of Godhead in his fullness, was overwhelmed with joy within his heart, and thus in full transcendental love and ecstasy, his eyes filled with tears of love. He thus bowed down before the Lord. That is the way of the highest perfection for the living being, Paramahamsa. Yat Paramhamsena Patadigamyate. This is followed. This is the way of the highest perfection for the living being. So it is worth doing penance of Bhakti Yoga, because ultimate result will be nectar. All other things will give suffering only. Tam priyamanam samupastitam kavim praja visarga nija shasa narhanam babhasha ishat smita shochi sha gira priyah priyam pritamana kare sprishan. And seeing Brahma present before him, the Lord accepted him as worthy to create living beings, to be controlled as he desired, and thus, being much satisfied with him, the Lord shook hands with Brahma and, slightly smiling, addressed him thus. Shook hands, approve, very good. He told him, Shri Bhagavan Uvach, Tvayaham Toshitach Samyak Veda Garbha Sisrikshaya Chiram Britena Tapasa Dushtosha Kuta Yoginam. The beautiful personality of Godhead addressed Lord Brahma. O Brahma, impregnated with the Vedas, I am very much pleased with your long accumulated penance with the desire for creation. Hardly I am pleased with the pseudo-mystics, means I am not. Varam varaya badram te varesham mabhi vanchitam brahman chreyah parishrama pungsham mat darshanavadi. I wish you good luck. O Brahma, you may ask from me, the giver of all benediction, all that you may desire. You may know that the ultimate benediction, as the result of all penances, is to see me by realization. Manishi tanu bhavoyam mama loka valokanam yat upashrutya rahasi chakarta paramam tapa. The highest perfection in genuity is the personal perception of my abodes, and this has been possible because of your submissive attitude in the performance of severe penance according to my order. That is the point. We have to do according to the order of Supreme Lord. Because he is Asamordva. No one is equal to him. Sama means equal. Asama, no one is equal. Or Urdva, superior to him. So the only way to attain him is by his will. To act according to his will is bhakti, our Gurudev told. So as Brahma did according to Krishna's order, he ordered him, you do tapa. Tapa, 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 and Brahma did. Like that, by Guru Parampara, coming from Brahma and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to our Gurudev, what Gurudev orders, that penance we have to accept. We cannot do like Brahma, 1,000 years, because we don't have such life. But we have to do what Gurudev orders. Like Dhruva also only followed what Nara told him, he got perfection. So we have to follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching, given in Shikastaka, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching in the words of Rupa Goswami, that is Upadeshamrita. I spoke about till 7th verse yesterday, because that is like a penance. That penance we have to accept, take as a medicine. Then in the 8th verse, the Raganuga starts. There, naturally, one will engage his tongue in always chanting Harinam and all qualities and pastimes of Krishna, everything, and his mind in remembering all the time. Following one Brajavasi, according to his own rasa, that Brajavasi, he will be attracted and he will follow that type of service, of which Radharani is the highest according to neutral standpoint. That is why Rupa Goswami first told about constant engagement in the service of Krishna with great liking, with taste, then about different grades of devotees and about Radha Kunda like this. Everything is there by the grace of Mahaprabhu, so that we have to follow. But we cannot follow immediately from 8th shloka up. We have to come to 7th shloka, practicing all shlokas. Then when we will accomplish 7th shloka, then 8th one will automatically come. There also you will follow the order of Brajavasi. But there are no anarthas. When we have anarthas, then there is some struggle, penance. But in that stage, no anarthas, and you will have great taste for worship, for serving Krishna, and you will do it as per the order of your that Brajavasi Guru in his spiritual forum as related to Krishna. Pratya dishtam maya tatra tvai karma vimohite tapo me hridayam shakshat atmaham tapasonagha. And then when we will follow this 8th shloka, then also we can practice manashika. That is also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching through Raghunath Das Goswami. Mahaprabhu told him in Puri how he should do bhajan. But we have to see on which stage Raghunath Das Goswami got those instructions. And what Mahaprabhu told him, bhalo na khaibe or bhalo na poribe. You should not dress very nicely, you should not eat very nicely, but we are always want to enjoy taste. And Gramya Varta na shunive, Gramya Varta na kohive. Don't hear any worldly talks. Don't speak any worldly talks. And Amanina Manadena Sada Nam Loibe. With this mood of not wanting any respect and giving due respect to all, always chant Harinam. Then he is telling him, Braje Radha Krishna Seva Korive Manase. I think something means then in Vrindavan, transcendental Vrindavan, in your purified consciousness, from that you realized state, you mentally all the time render service to Radha Krishna. That is Raganuga. But there are conditions before. We cannot just jump to Raganuga. We have to follow those first four also instructions. So it means Amanina Manadena, you have to be fixed, and Sadanam Loibe, all the time chanting. That is beyond anarthas. Otherwise you cannot chant all the time. Then Braje Radha Krishna Seva Manasa, I think something like this. So then in Manak Shiksha, that is why you will find in Manak Shiksha, Raghunath Das Goswami is telling to his own mind, oh my mind, you give up all pride. Pride comes when we identify with matter. This is related. We have any kind of worldly pride. But he said you give up all kind of pride. Means all your false ego, everything you give up. And you develop attachment to Guru and name which he gave you, then mantras, then Brajavasis, Brahmins, and Radha Krishna, all this. Then you can practice those shlokas. They are for Raganugas. O sinless Brahma, you may know from me that it was I who first ordered you to undergo penance when you were perplexed in your duty. Such penance is my heart and soul, and therefore penance and I are non-different. Brahma was perplexed. He did not know what to do. What is his duty? What is the point? He did not know how. So he submitted. Then Supreme Lord gave him solution. What is his duty? What he has to do? And by doing that, everything he got revealed. And Krishna is very pleased with him. So our Gurudev told we should give up the arrogance that we can get bliss by our own effort or by our own idea. Impossible. That is beyond our thinking. It has to be revealed to us. But we have to first give up this effort that I can know independently. I know the solution. Then when I can surrender, giving up all my ideas, can surrender, then Krishna is always ready to give us. Always. Like sun is always shining, but we have closed eyes. When we are ready to accept, then immediately we get. Immediately. So, although Brahma did not directly see who was telling, but now Krishna is revealing, it was I who told you that. When Brahma understood that he is not able to get it by his own effort, then Krishna revealed. And also, you know, it happened also during Adivaraha avatar and also in the middle of the Manvantaras, when Brahma could not understand how earth sank down in the water and how I will create, he could not find any solution. By his own brain, Brahma has 4 brains and very big brain, but he could not find solution. So how we can? Then Brahma submitted to Supreme Lord, and immediately Supreme Lord appeared there as first as some small boar, then he became big, and solution was there through surrender. Srijami tapasai vedam grasami tapasapuna bibharmi tapasavishwam virya me dushcharam tapa. I create this cosmos by such penance, I maintain it by the same energy, and I withdraw it all by the same energy. Therefore, the potential power is penance only. Not sense enjoyment, but penance, means service of Krishna. Brahmovach. Bhagavan sarvabhutanam adyaksho vastito guham veda hyaprati rudhena pragyanena chikirshitam. Lord Brahma said, O personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart as the supreme director, and therefore you are aware of all endeavors by your superior intelligence without any hindrance whatsoever. He knows, he's aware of all our endeavors. Sometimes we become disturbed. No one is appreciating my activities or my service, all this. But the thing is that Krishna knows that you have to wake up first, and you are eating last, and you are going to bed also last. Krishna sees everything. No need to demand or expect or like this that others have to appreciate, and also there is no need of that. Need is service of Krishna, and those who will sincerely serve, they will get grace of Krishna. That is what is required, not this worldly anything. Then if you desire that and you will not get it, you will be disturbed. But that is not bhakti yoga. So, as I told, I was thinking that why I'm not getting any result? Bhakti yoga is not working. But it is not that bhakti yoga is not working. I am not doing bhakti yoga. That is the problem. Bhakti yoga is giving result, but I am not doing bhakti yoga. So I have to correct. I have to accept bhakti yoga. Then result is automatically there. Tathapi nata manasya natha nathaya natitam paravare yatarupe janyam te tva rupinaha. In spite of that, O my Lord, I am praying to you to kindly fulfill my desire. So Brahma said, you already know everything. Still, I will say it. May I please be informed how, in spite of your transcendental form, you assume the mundane form, although you have no such form at all. Yatatma maya yogena nana shaktyupabrimhitam vilumpan visrijan grinan bibrat atmanam atmana. and please inform me how you, by your own self, manifest different energies for annihilation, generation, acceptance, and maintenance by combination and permutation. Our Gurudev liked to quote this, combination and permutation. Gurudev very expert in mathematics. That was his favorite subject. And because his father was pressing him that he has to study more, although he did not want, he wanted to go into spiritual practice, but his father was pressing him, so Gurudev thought, okay, then I will accept philosophy. Then I will study, but at the same time I can get the spiritual direction. So he was studying Western and Eastern philosophy, also the Vedanta, that Upanishad, all. So but Gurudev said, but my favorite was mathematics. If I would study by my own further, then I would, by my own desire, by my own liking, I would accept mathematics. So when explaining the, once I asked Gurudev, there are so many sadhanas mentioned in Shastra and by sadhus. So what I have to do? Then Gurudev said, the Prahlad mentioned 9 forms, Mahaprabhu mentioned 5, Rupa Goswami mentioned 64. In Tantra Shastra you will find 1000, but Prabhupada in commentary to Shikastaka, I think in first verse, he said, yes, in first verse, there are innumerable sadhanas, innumerable limbs of sadhana, bhakti sadhana. Then Gurudev smilingly said, how this is possible? Innumerable. Then he said, by combination and permutation of all those different forms, some percentage of this, some percentage of that. Then if you do, then it can come to unlimited. But main importance, special significance in this Kali Yuga is given to chanting of Mahamantra. Krirasi amoga sankalpa urnanabir yatornute tata tadvishayam dehi manishamai madhava. O Master of all energies, please tell me philosophically all about them. You play like a spider that covers itself by its own energy, and your determination is infallible. Manisham, philosophically. Our Gurudev also said that philosophy and Darshan Shastra are not same. But because there is no any other proper word in English, so we also use philosophy. But it is not same. Because Gurudev was studying philosophy, so he told philo, love of knowledge, Sophia. Philo, Sophia. Sophia means knowledge. Liking for knowledge. But what kind of knowledge? Knowledge of reality, about truth. But how they will know the nature of reality? By reasoning and argument or something. Then Gurudev told, by that you cannot realize reality. So philosophy and Darshan Shastra are not same. Darshan Shastra means that absolute reality, eternal reality already exists. So you have to find the way how to realize that truth. It is self-effulgent. When you will accept that proper process, then you can get darshan. That will be revealed to you. But philosophy means you are trying with your own intelligence, reasoning, and that to arrive at the truth. Guru said it can never be possible. Never be possible, because all senses and mind and intelligence of human beings dependent on senses, they are all temporary. How they can realize eternal truth? Impossible. That will be mentally or intellectually concocted thing, produced. But you are not to produce reality, you are to realize reality. And then Gurudev told that indirectly, philosophers, they also came to this conclusion. Immanuel Kant, he said, the human being has no capacity to know the thing as it is, can only know as it appears. Impossible. Then another, Hegel said it is possible by reasoning. But Bradley English, he said no, it is impossible by reasoning, because there is some bar between the one who reasons and the reality. It is impossible. It can only be possible by immediate presentation of the thing. Immediate means without any barrier there, and through feeling. When you feel, accept, or realize that thing as it reveals itself, then you can know. So Gurudev told that indirectly they are also confirming the same thing, that you cannot realize the truth with this inductive process by intelligence, but only through if reality reveals and you feel it, you realize it. So philosophically, here we have to know that here it refers to Brahma is telling you, please reveal to me. That is Darshan Shastra. So we should not understand philosophically in the sense of as it is in Oxford Dictionary, this worldly philosophy, love of knowledge through reasoning. It's not same. So tomorrow is the disappearance day of Sri Ramananda. I am going to Croatia for the program of Srila Siddhanti Maharaj. So tomorrow there will be no Skype program. Maybe on Thursday, not sure. I can announce there in chat. But you can find in Gurudev's book that biography, or if you search in YouTube from last year, there is somewhere a recording, or some other Vaishnavas, they will speak like this. So, but it is very important day. Ramananda is Bishaka, and one of the 3.5 most intimate associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have to observe this day by hearing about him. This very nice lila he did in this world. So we have to go through that, so many teachings there. So you will find in detail in Gurudev's book, and Vaishnavas there saying. So I will announce there if on Thursday there will be already Skype, otherwise on Friday. Hari.